Good day, all, and thank you for making yourselves available for today's official pre-series press conference with the West Indies white ball captain, Mr. Kieron Pollard. Today's engagement, we want to limit to just about 20 minutes, and we will initially be giving a preference to the Caribbean media. So if you are from the Caribbean media and you came with questions prepared, I will allow each journalist to ask 2 questions at a time. Obviously, if there's time at the end, we will circle back if you have more questions. However, I'm encouraging you to please raise your hands as soon as possible, as we do have a heavy Indian media contingent that we do want to accommodate as well. Please don't be too long-winded in asking the questions, and also please remember that this is meant to be a series preview. We know what would have happened over the weekend with Mr. Pollard and 16 other Caribbean players going to be involved in the IPL, but we definitely want to focus on the series at hand and the squad here on the ground. So without much further ado, I just want to introduce Kieron and say thank you for joining us today as well. And we're going to take our first set of questions from Mr. Roger Seepersad. Roger, please proceed. You'll be followed by Lennox Aldred.
Thanks, Dario. Ollie, I just want to ask, the ODI series didn't go as planned, but is there anything you could take from that series that you think would help going forward into the T20 series?
Obviously experiences. Guys who would not have been here before would have gotten experience, playing in Indian conditions, coming up a well-drilled, Indian team, and, getting to understand, what is needed, on a consistent basis, say, for instance, in international cricket. So, for us, again, it's about improving all the time.
Greetings, Skipper. How are you doing?
Good, man.
All right. I know that the ODI is done and dusted, and the T20 is upon us. Could you say that this is kind of like a precursor, so to speak, to the IPL in terms of the players wanting to showcase their talent? Is this the opportunity for them to do so?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't get into that part of it. I guess every time you get opportunity to represent your international team, you want to do well. Obviously, guys would have been selected in the IPL, over the weekend, and again, that's done and dusted. It's back to international cricket. So, in order to be selected, you would have had to do something, great or good on the cricket field, and being selected is what it's about. When the IPL comes, you deal with that. But now it's about representing West Indies and putting your best foot forward and trying to do what you're selected to do.
So we expect a better showing in this format.
Well, each and every time, boss, we step on the cricket field, we expect to do well. We don't go there and not expect to do well. Yes, from a one-day perspective, it have not been going how we wanted to go. But I guess it's the same thing. When we come tomorrow, we go through the process, we plan, and hopefully we can deliver on the cricket field. So again, each and every time it's about that.
Thanks, Skip. All the best.
Yes, man. Thanks.
We'll have Marshall Hewitt, who will be followed by questions from Brandon Corlett, and then Akeem. Please proceed in that order.
Thank you. Kieron, just 2 quick questions. First one, obviously we beat England 3-2 in the last series, but are there any areas you've identified, along with Phil, that you'd like to see the team focus on versus India that you felt might not have been executed that well against England?
For us, it's about consistency. We had a very good series, I thought, against England. We faltered, a couple of times, with the bat. In the back end of the innings, we could be, a little better at executing, as well. And, fielding performances, we can take it up a notch, as well. So, again, there's a couple of areas I think that, we can definitely improve and, just try to be as consistent as possible as we would have seen. From a batting perspective, over the period, we have not been as consistent, or we have not been consistent at all, which is facts. So we want to be able to try to, put that right with the limited opportunities we get in a shorter format of the game. So I think for us, it's about continuing to try to improve in all facets of the game and, executing, the best of our ability.
Thank you. And just a second one, your own personal fitness. Obviously, you missed the last 2 ODIs versus India, are you expecting to feature in the first T20, or are you still monitoring day by day?
No, I think it has gone over the last couple of days. Things have improved drastically. For me, it was one of my my knee having some fluid in it, not being able to sort of bend it. It was a bit stiff, so to the rigors of the 50 over game was actually going to be very, very difficult. So for me, it was difficult to take the field, not knowing that I can give 100% to the team, because I pride myself on what I can contribute. So as we stand right now, all 16 of us are available for selection. So our final 11 be selected, and we'll take the field tomorrow, please God.
Thank you.
Yeah, Skipper, hope all is well there. Kyle Mayer's had some good starts in a few matches he played in Barbados. Tell us about his role and how impressed are you, in those few knocks he played against England?
Very, very impressed. Naturally, aggressive, by nature. And, he has, grown tremendously, from the first time I've interacted with Kyle in 2013, the first CPL, to now, he came onto the international scene in the Test arena. He has done well. And, a couple of games, in the T20 format, he has done well, as well. So, again, for us, just want that to continue is the consistency, we're looking at, and it all goes well, for us, he going out there and giving us that impetus. He is clear as to what he has to do for the team, and we're looking forward to a lot more consistent performances from him, and we know he can also give us some overs with the ball as well, so that's not something that we will discount as well.
All right, man, go
well. KP, the outside of the World Cup where India didn't do well, they had a rampant 2021 period, England as well, but yet you were able to topple England in the Caribbean. How much confidence does that give this group that you probably could pull off the same against the Indians in these 3 matches?
I think we're pretty confident. I thought that, where we came from, from Jamaica into Barbados, and to play the series that we played, against England, it shows that, there's something inside the guys with a burning desire to do well. And, being able to come out on top, against England, give you that extra confidence as well. So coming into the series against India, I know the guys are looking forward to the challenge and looking forward to, scoring runs on these sort of pitches where, sometimes it's conducive for stroke play, especially from a T20 perspective. So, for us, yes, we're looking forward to it, and, the guys are quietly confident, that we can, do well in the series.
Yeah. What advice have you been given the death bowlers? The Indians, recent, they look to go big at the start and then big at the bottom end as well. What advice has been given to the death bowlers of how they can be able to counteract that India power hitting the death?
I think it boils down just to execution. That's some of the conversations we have been having. Being able to, be precise in what you're doing, being able to be clear when you leave the top of your mark before you deliver that delivery. Having the fieldsmen in the right area. And, once you execute, they have to play, a pretty damn good shot in order to get it past the fieldsmen that you have. So it all boils down to precision and being as accurate as possible. So these are some of the conversations we've been having, and these are some of the things that we have been specifically sort of working on in the nets, guys working on skill sets and different sort of specialities in order to get it right, come that time. It's not going to be guaranteed, but one thing you can be rest assured is that we have been putting in the work in order to try to get it right. So let's see what happens once the competition actually starts.
And now I see another raised hand from Akeem Green. Akeem will allow one further question before we jump out to the Indian media. Please proceed with that.
Sorry, bro. I just need to lower my hand. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. So as we move into the Indian media, the request that I'm seeing for questions, we'll start with Sayak Banerjee, who will be followed by Anuj Mishra from ANI. Sayak?
Hi, Karen. Karen, I just wanted to ask you about your views on Eden Garden wicket. No.
I didn't get it.
I just wanted to ask you about your views on the Eden Gardens pitch.
Sorry, I'm not quite clearly hearing the question.
Kyron, he's asking you about the Eden Gardens pitch.
Oh, what I think about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. No, I wasn't here properly. Yeah, I think it's a very good cricketing wicket. Obviously, there's something in for the bowlers, and once you give yourself an opportunity to get a start, hopefully it's pretty quick. The pitch tend to come onto the bat of recently when I would have played here in the last couple of years. So again, I think it's going to be a good cricketing wicket. Being in the night, the atmosphere is a bit chilled. The dew around, ball should be able to slide on to the bat as well. So looking forward to that. So that's my sort of basic assessment of what we expect. But we also expect the unexpected. So let's see.
Kyron, how have you planned to tackle the T20 series knowing the momentum is with India after the ODIs?
Again, yes, the momentum is with them, but that's done and dusted. We can't live 4 days back. We have to live in the present, and we have to focus on what we need to do. So again, we have come up with some plans, and I said hopefully we can sort of execute the plans for the various individuals, and hopefully we can put them on the back foot when they're batting, or put them under a little bit of pressure when they're bowling as well. So again, we're looking forward to that.
Vivek Prabhakar Singh is the next person that I see, and then Ridhayan will go afterwards.
Hi, Kyron. My question to you is that you said that the dew factor will be there. So will the first idea for you would be to go out there and bowl first? Because once the dew factor comes, it becomes difficult to grip the ball, and then the team batting second always invariably enjoys the advantage.
Let's put it this way: the dew factor is coming in even before the game has started. So for us, it'll be dew for both teams. So it's just a matter of who able to control the ball. If it's a bit wet, better. So let's see what happens. At the toss. Toss is always 50-50. We haven't discussed it. What we want to do as a team. That's something that sort of discuss as well. So let's see.
Thanks.
Shobayan Chakraborty and Akeem Green, and your hand is raised again. I'm not sure if you do have a question this time or that was an accident. And then Priya Nagy is the last indication that I'm seeing. After that, I think that we'd probably be finished with today's engagement. Probably time for one more question, whoever could put their hand up the quickest. But Shobayan, please proceed.
Thanks, Dario. Kyron, my question is about Jason Holder. He has been in some good form of late. So how important will be his form, particularly in this T20I series? And as an experienced player and a leader, how has Jason helped you when things don't go as planned?
Jason has been fantastic over the last couple of matches, couple of series. He has really found his own. He himself had admittedly sort of spoke about how difficult it was. Just trying to understand different formats and getting his performance up to mark. But I thought he has gone back and he has done really, really well for himself. And, as a senior player in the dressing room and having the relationship with the guys, again, it's just a matter of him sort of sharing his experience and just being himself and who he are. And, as a team, we appreciate, all that he brings. And again, he continues to get better, sort of day by day. And his continues to just show how important he is to West Indies cricket, and we applaud that and we appreciate that what he's doing, and long may that continue.
Thanks, Kyron.
Hi, Kyron. My question is on Shimron Hetmyer. We've recently read that there has been some fitness issues with Shimron, and especially because he's been an IPL player and he's been in India before. Do you think that we have seen the end of Shimron, or you hope to have him back towards the end of the year or sometime later?
I think the coach would have spoken, of our assessment of Hetmyer, and it's always a big miss when Shimron is not on our team. So I can't sit here and say that's the end of it. He's a young player. He's a superstar in his own right, and he'll get it right. And he'll be back in West Indies colours pretty soon. We're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to having him because we know what he can do, as an individual, And, you know, as I said, he has a bright future, you know, ahead of him. So we're looking forward to having him back. So Shimron is what, 24, 25? How can you can never write off a guy like that? And I'll never do that. My love for Shimron is paramount. And he knows that, and they all know that. It's just a matter of him doing what is necessary, you know, to get back into this team. And we look forward to welcoming him with open arms.
All right, so we're actually able to take the second indication that I'm seeing. So we'll go back to Marshall Hewitt, and then Shashank Kishore will close out the engagement.
Hey, Kyron, just one more quick one. When you first became captain, a lot was spoken about your remit, not just being about, captaining the side to different World Cups, etc., but grooming the next captains in the region. So Nicholas has been captaining quite a bit in the last 6 months or so. So what's your assessment as to where Nicholas is at as a captain and his readiness to take over once you step down?
I think he's going great. He's doing some good things on the cricket field. He's, you know, still trying to find his foot in terms of, you know, consistently sort of performing, you know, as an individual firstly, you know, before thinking about leadership. So he's on that way, you know, pretty well. And I think he's in a good space. We have a lot of conversations. He has gotten different opportunities at different times, and we see what he can do. So that's, you know, sort of exciting, you know, as well, you know, for us. So, you know, quietly, we believe that, you know, we are doing some of the right things, you know, behind the scenes. So, you know, looking forward to that. But not only Nicholas, you know, Hopi, who has been the vice captain in 50 over team for the last 2.5 years, you know, we've been able to, you know, sort of get, you know, Hopi to do things differently. The guys respect him, you know, as well. So these are the sort of things that we're trying to build, you know, sort of behind the scenes, and some of the things that obviously the public, you know, won't see. So, you know, exciting times ahead. You know, and I look forward to seeing these guys, you know, when that time comes.
Thank you.
Hi, Kyron. You know, for a while, I mean, for more than a decade now, the T20 scene in West Indies has been synonymous with the Gales, the Pollards, Dwayne Bravo, Sunil Narayans. Of course, a lot of you are still around, but from the basis of what you've seen of the likes of Odean Smith and the other youngsters, Romario, Shepherd, and the others coming around, are you happy with where the West Indies, the next generation of West Indies cricket is, and how have they kind of shaped up so far in your understanding?
For me, sometimes it's not about just being contented when it comes to that part of it, so be happy. But, you know, what I've seen, you know, is these guys, you know, wanting to do well and in their constant growth. You spoke about Odean Smith, you know, Romario Shepherd, you know, Dominic Drakes, you know, even Nicholas Puran, Shimron Hetmyer. You know, these are the guys, you know, we look forward to, you know, to taking the cricket forward. And, you know, over the weekend, you know, it brought joy to my heart, you know, to see that, you know, some of the guys, you know, being actually selected in the IPL franchise, and, you know, hopefully they can use that experience and use that 2.5 months, you know, to enhance, you know, their cricket, being able to rub shoulders with all the greatest players, you know, in the world, and some of the expertise they have in the coaching staffs, you know, as well. So again, in that aspect of it, you know, it all goes well, you know, for us, but it still takes individuals to do well. So, you know, the Smithies and them, you know, I know they're going to soak in all the knowledge and everything, and they're going to do well. So, you know, I said, exciting times, you know, for us, you know, going forward, but we need to stay on that part of wanting it, you know, and wanting it badly enough.
All right, thank you, Skipper. And thank you to all the journalists that would have taken time out to be here with us today. We look forward to the first T20 International on the West Indies tour of India, which is in just about 24 hours, actually. And obviously, we look forward to speaking to you after it with a West Indies win in hand. So enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody, and looking forward to seeing you again soon.